Alright, we released another Starmancer alpha patch. And before I talk about that, I just want to remind you that the purpose of alpha is for bug testing. If you want to enjoy your time with Starmancer, just wait a little bit, and alpha will continue to get better. And also, if you're not in the Discord, please join the Discord. It's the best way to report bugs and give us any sort of feedback or suggestions. Alright, anyway, so we're doing this patch. Let's see. Wires, pipes, and air ducts are no longer deleted when you first place an object like I don't know, let me play something real quick. Okay, so before what would happen when you place something like this crop spot here, the wires would as soon as you left clicked, the wires would instantaneously be deleted. But let me do something real quick. Let me place one of these guys. Let me place a generator. So this guy can be powered. Let me go over here, here, and I gotta give this generator some fuel, so hang on real quick. Showed this beforehand, huh? But I didn't. Okay. I'm showing the game off this time in the Unity editor because then I can do stuff like this, and I feel like it's helps me out a little bit. Show you guys stuff. And then let me go here, here. Okay. Okay, anyway, before what would happen is as soon as you place something new, these wires would be deleted, and then this thing would stop being powered until the build bot eventually came around to building it. And now when you left click, the wires are still there, and he's still powered, and everybody's happy. And then eventually, he will finish building, and then the wires went away, which you can't really tell, but the wires are gone. And everybody is basically as happy as they'll ever be in their whole life. And just to show you, if I can find it over here, need to hide the UI though. That the wires are actually gone. I don't know why, because you can't really tell. But I'm always like thinking people are going to think that I'm lying about these things or something. I don't know. So I'm like, I got to prove it. So here you go. I'm going to prove it. The wire's gone. Also, the floor is gone because there are some components that hide floors. Or some objects hide floors. This is one of them. Okay, so that's a thing. But then also, even better, is when you delete that object, the wires come back. Like that. See, the wires come back. So that's a pretty nice change. And this applies not just to wires, but to air ducts and water pipes, but also to doors. Because doors, the way they work is they remove walls if you place them on like a continuous section of walls like this. And if you delete them, now it comes back. So that's pretty nice. Nice little change. Another bug that we fixed related to doors are you can no longer delete the walls that are next to doors during construction or after construction. It's because these doors need these walls. Let's see what else we do. The input field where you type in your name. So if you go to save the game and you say hello, and then you press hello, and then you go to new save. Now it's cleared. Before it was not. It's a little thing. Fix some issues with the construction material not being lit correctly. And you can sort of kind of see this here. By the way, what was happening internally is the lighting was being applied twice on the shader, and then it was just causing it to look darker if you really cared to know. Fix some random things here, saving issues, some stuff with the oil refinery, blah, blah, blah. Some miscellaneous crashes. Fix some issue. Oh, I fixed an issue that was caused depending on your specific region setting. And what was happening is if you type in a number, let's say 13.01, on certain region settings, instead of using a period, apparently, these regions are using commas and potentially other things. And so when I was attempting to convert this string text value 1301 into the number numerically 1301, it was looking for a comma and it couldn't find it. And now all of the numeric parsing is culturally invariant. So now that doesn't happen, at least for some of these cases. So in general, if you were playing probably in Germany and in any other region setting that was using commas, or I should say non-periods, to separate the decimal places, you should be able to hopefully play now. So that's nice. Good for you, Germany. Let's see. So I fixed some issues with colonists eating. In general, what was happening sort of is that they would like overclaim a shelf or something like that. Actually, what was happening is we use like an object pool system for almost everything, and it helps to prevent garbage collection. And so we reuse a lot of classes. We try to not to make new classes whenever. Doesn't matter that much. It's like this internal thing. And so we're reusing stuff all the time. And what was happening in this specific case is that the food diet of colonists was being shared by all colonists. And then if one colonist started finishing eating, when another colonist was on his way to pick up food, it would clear the food diet. And then he wouldn't know what to pick up. And so then he'd walk up to a shelf and not actually grab anything. And then I think he was still claiming that like food that he had originally claimed. And it was a whole big fiasco. But in general, that's a bit better now. I fixed some issues with sprite sorting orders that would happen when they were recycled. I fixed some issues with room letting too, so it's more consistent. So what was happening before, let me give this guy some oxygen real quick. Room extension, room atmosphere, how this guy, add oxygen, boom. Beta, add oxygen. Sure. And he should actually be heated soon, right? But what was happening before, if you would connect two rooms, they would not correctly change the atmosphere, or the colors would snap for like a second, and it was pretty awful. It's hard for me to describe what was happening. I'll just show you though. Well, I can't show you because it's not, hopefully it won't happen anymore. But what was happening, as I slowly do this, if I delete this and this and this guy just goes to dark. But what was happening before is this guy, this big room would snap to red, and then after a second, when he refreshes his atmosphere display, he would go back to non-red, and it was just pretty annoying to me. So that's gone now. Those are the sorts of things that I don't like. Oops, I deleted the generator. No, that doesn't matter. Stop. I canceled, but it probably did it too late. Yeah, all right, well, whatever, doesn't matter. What else we got here? Oh yeah, I implemented a Colonist Morale System, and this is just on the back end, really. But I did that, and then I also implemented the Colonist AI Category System. So now they'll cycle between work, free time, sleep, and I think nourishment, something like that. And that's just an internal thing, and that was sort of necessary so that they could start to do free time activities. Similarly with Morale System too, it was the first pass of them doing more stuff in the free time. And then also, when I say I implemented the morale system, I mean only on the back end. I didn't really give values to a lot of things yet. I didn't bother balancing them, but they will get bad memories sometimes. If I place a colonist like this, I didn't put should colonist wander on though. So hang on. La 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 da da. Should colonist wander. Here. Boom. Boom. Eventually, if I have their needs set to being ticked right now, do I? Yeah, I do. Okay. I'm going to speed up the time a lot. Hey, he's breathing on the oxygen. He's suffocating. And he's suffocated. Did I have... Oh, I didn't add a memory for that. That's too bad. Well, at least he can talk to that guy while they slowly die together. I added a memory specifically for hunger. I thought that maybe I'd added one for suffocating. But then it doesn't matter, though. It's not a big deal. Anyway, eventually... You'll see memories here under miscellaneous. There are some memories that are displayed. Like I know for sure that hunger is displayed, but it seems like oxygen isn't. Or they're just not remembering it or something else. Let's see what else we got here. Are they not dying? I know he's dying. He'll be dead soon. Don't worry about him. And is that about it? Yeah. And then some known issues. Sometimes the colonists don't do anything when they're supposed to work and there's no jobs to perform, but sometimes they do. So the hold and drag selection box no longer always selects all the objects within its bounds because we reworked how selection works, so that it uses a raycast. Before it was doing something else, and it made it hard to select things on top of other things consistently. And so because of that, the poor nanobot station can no longer be selected. What a sad guy. So you just have to guess and hope that he has enough material. And I don't know if this was a thing before, but when I was playtesting, I playtested for about, I don't know, like 30 minutes or longer maybe. And after a while, there was this consistent garbage collection spike. And I wasn't playing, I was playing just some standalone thing. And I couldn't profile it, unfortunately. So that's the thing. I don't know if I caused it this week or if it was always a thing. I'm not really sure. By the way, whenever you're playing and you see like a periodic like spike, where it's like you can kind of do stuff, but then all of a sudden your frame rate goes to like 1 frame a second for... like it seems to be about 1 frame. It's because, well, usually what's happening is it's collecting garbage. And so over the lifetime of your application, as you're allocating memory And at some point, the memory that you took has to be returned, because if it didn't ever get returned, you'd run out of RAM really, really fast. Really, really fast. Anyway, and that process of collecting that stuff is called garbage collection, at least in the CLR. And that process can sometimes take, you know, something like 20 milliseconds, 200 milliseconds, something like that. And that can be like pretty performance intensive when you're used to running it at 60 frames per second. Then all of a sudden it takes a long time. Anyway, but that is what's causing most of the spikes, and we're trying to work on those. Some of them are caused by Unity, and the ones that aren't, we're trying to fix. And I think that's it. So, thank you for listening to me ramble. You sure are swell. And remember, LOP is best.